Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are going to make a necklace, mainly using this piece from the Bargain Bead box, this focal. And yes, I have changed this piece up. So as you can see, I used resin and some, like a copper colored glass glitter to help this thing. So I really thought the other side, this is the back of it, but the other side did not look much better. I mean, it looked so fake and so plasticky that I was like, I've got to do something if I'm going to use this piece at all. So I think this really helped it look more like a druzy, or if not, look more just, I don't know, it just helped it. So like I said, all I did is I took glass glitter and mixed it with a UV resin and just stuck it on here and cured it under a UV lamp. Okay, so that's what I did, and like I said, I think it really helps it. But anyway, our encouraging word for today is Proverbs 35, and it is, every word of God is pure. He is a shield to those who put their trust in him. I have found that to be true in my life. All right, so you're going to need your piece. Now you can use it just exactly like it came if you want to. It will still work the same for this necklace, but like I said, I did not like the way it looked. I thought it looked really, really cheap. So I did that to it. And I don't know if it looks any better, but I kind of think it does, so I don't know. You're going to need a piece of a bead stringing wire. This is a 7-strand, kind of a matte gold color bead stringing wire. And I just have this is out of my scraps. I didn't even measure this, but it's like right around 12 inches. Okay, so you're going to need the chain from the Bargain Bead box. That's this. You are going to need some ball head pins. If you don't have ball head pins, you can use regular head pins. They'll work just the same, but I just wanted to use the ball ones because they're a little easier to work with for this kind of thing. And then you're going to need, I'm using these druzy beads. Don't know how many of them we'll use, but I've got the druzy beads. I've got these rondelles out of the box, and I've got these little tiny, I think just like 5 or 6 of these. Yeah, I had 1, 2, 3, 6 of these left. So I'm using the 6 that I have left. And I don't know how many of these others we'll use. I just kind of pulled them all out. Okay. You're going to need some jump rings. These are the jump rings that came in the box this month. You're going to need a lobster or a clasp of your choice, whatever you want to use, 2 clamshell connectors, and you know what? No, yeah. 2 clamshell connectors and 2 crimps. So I was thinking I was going to need more clams, but I'm not. So, okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And this is going to be a Lariat style necklace that's kind of asymmetrical. So what I'm going to do here is for the one side, okay, so it's going to go like this. This chain is going to go through here and hang down like this with some of the beads on it. This piece is going to hook from the top here up to the piece of chain on this side. And we're going to string beads on this. Okay, so does that make sense? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do this side first just because I want to make sure that I think it'll be a little bit easier that way. I'm going to move the lobster out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and attach my clamshell and my crimp bead. So the clamshell connectors have a hole in the bottom and you just stick them right on. Then you take your crimp bead and you stick it right on. Now, I don't use my good crimp tubes for this application of this because they're not going to show. And you don't need to worry about crimping these 2 wires together. That's not what we're doing. We are actually just going to attach the clamshell. This crimp bead only holds the clamshell on, so you just really need to mash it down, okay? Mash it down good, make sure it's sturdy, but just mash it down. And then you pull your clamshell up and you just close it over that crimp, and you have a very secure connection right there. It's not going anywhere. If you've ever tried to remove a crimp bead that you've smashed down from bead stringing wire, it's not easy, okay? So that'll stay. If you want, you can dab a little glue in there if it makes you feel better, but I don't ever really feel like I need to. And I'm actually going to pull out a smaller jump ring. These are 4mm jump rings. I have these for sale on my website if you're interested. I like to use smaller jump rings sometimes, especially like for this kind of a thing here where we're connecting this clamshell to this focal. You don't really need a big old jump ring for this. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe this one is too small. Yeah, this is kind of a thick. Well, it may not work. Bummer, man. Okay, well, let me move that. Okay, scratch that. Let me see if I have a smaller one, though. Not quite as big as these ones they gave us this time. See if I have. Yeah, I've got like a little. This is probably a 6mm. I think these are probably 8. So let's go with this guy. Little 6mm jump ring. And hopefully this one should work. Yeah, there's plenty of room on there. All right. Okay, and just make sure they're closed up really good. And that's going to be one connection right there. Now, we're going to bead this like however we want to bead it up. And I think what I will do is start with one of these tiny purple ones. Let me go back out a little. Whoops, I'm sorry. I was trying to get in so you could see me doing that clamshell connection, but I know you'd like to see me put the necklace together, right? Okay, and then I'm going to do one of the drusies. Now, some of these drusies, this one, the ones that have a big druzy showing, I'm going to hang down on the bottom, I think. But the rest of it, I'm going to try to use the ones that have at least a bit of a druzy in them. I know they kind of spin around, but still. So there's that one. I'm going to do 2 of these guys. And I'm kind of just doing a random pattern. I'm not doing anything totally, you know, just no clear pattern. It's just kind of a random thing. That's too bad that the druzy on that one is where the chain comes through. All right, let's go ahead and do another little 4mm. These are so super cute. Let's do another of these. I'm trying to pick out the prettiest ones. Oh, this one's good, I guess. Okay, and then we'll do another one of these guys. And we'll do this one. This one. Do 2 of those and another 4mm. And like I said, I'm just not doing any, I'm just going random here. Let's see, which one? None of the rest of them really have any more druzy in them. Well, that one kind of does. Let me use it instead. It kind of has a little bit right there. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's do this guy. No, let's do this guy. How many more of those do I have? And then this one. And then this one. There's 2 left. I want to keep a couple for the bottom, so I'm not going to do any more of the little, well, you know what? Maybe I'll save him for last. I do kind of want to do. Okay, so let's see. There's no druzy in that. There is in this one, though. Oh, but it's coming out the top. That's the one that I took off, I think. Okay, and we'll do 2 of these guys. And 1 more of these little dudes. Okay, and we have a very random stringing here, just like that. Okay, and I may actually use another one of these guys on the end. Sorry if you can hear Chris. He is doing a training, and I don't know why he screams all the time when he is on the phone, but he does. Like, it has to be hurting those people's ears that are on the other end, but I don't know. All right, so now we're just going to finish this, and probably going to hook it on with a jump ring. So same thing, you're just going to put your clamshell on, then put this little crimp on. Oops. Now, one thing to note when you're doing this, I kind of like to let gravity pull this down, just like this. You don't want your beads flopping around, right? But you don't want it poker straight either to where it looks weird and it doesn't hang right. So I just kind of, can't seem to get in there, I just kind of let gravity do the work. I hold the beads up like this, and I just go ahead and crimp it down right where it hangs, and that usually seems to work pretty good. And I'm trying to get this guy crimped down. There we go. Okay. Then I'm just going to trim it. And like I said, if you want to use some E6000 in there or something, you can. It would give it a little more security. Why not, right? Where's my E6000? Let's pull it out. I do this a lot because when you close this clamshell up here and this E6000 dries over the crimp bead, then it ain't never coming off. Okay, so I just get a little E6000 on my toothpick. You can use any kind of glue if you've got like gem tack or you've got whatever, you know, you can use any of it. But if you just want to like cover this up in here, the little crimp bead, just like that, and then close this up, then when that dries, it's going to be really, really, really secure, okay? And now we're just going to take a little jump ring, and it will go in this chain. And we're going to go ahead. Now, one thing I don't want to do is waste a bunch of chain. So let me do this before I cut this chain. So I'm going to hang these guys from this down here with these little guys in the middle, sort of, kind of like this. Maybe put one there and one down here. And this kind of a necklace is really not, I mean, you could wear it long like a tassel if you wanted to. I tend to like these kind of necklaces to be about 25, 26 inches on me. That's where I like them to lay. So I'm going to take it from the very bottom. So if this is 12 inches right here, let's see what we got. No, this would be 12 inches right here. And then, so if it's 25, I'm going to need 12.5 per side. So I would go another 1/2 inch. I'm just going to give it a whole inch just to be safe. And then this is going to come around the back of my neck, which I didn't really, well, it told me my Amazon Alexa app popped up, which I don't usually account for when I am making a necklace because I have a clasp. So I have to kind of account for that. So I'm just going to lay this out kind of like it would if it was on me. This is the way I do mine. And it works every time. And then, so I'm giving a little room for my neck in there, coming on around. And so I'm going to cut this right about here, and I will tell you, I'm going to measure it for you so you don't have to guess. So if we cut right about here, let me make sure that I get that right. There we go. My cutters are all so dull. Okay, so if we cut right about there, from the bottom of this chain that is actually hanging through the druzy piece, up to the very end where I'm going to hook it on, I have got 12. Let me come back down. I'm going to measure it, and so I'll tell you the exact amount. So I've got 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, about 23 inches of this chain. Now that's going to make it longer, which I can pull this down some too. So, yeah, about 23 inches of your gold chain. And then we're just going to take it and we're going to hook it on to this clamshell with this little jump ring. Okay. And this is not even going to have a closure. I was going to use the lobster, but there's really no point in it. I'm just going to go around. It'll just be one you can stick right over your head. It'll be nice and easy. You could, if you just wanted to preserve the chain, use your lobster. And that's fine if you want to do it that way. But I think I'm just going to, this is different, not something I do very often. So I think I'm just going to go with this. Okay. So here we have our little asymmetrical piece. Let me scoot this up so you can see what we're doing. And we are going to add in our little dangles over here, okay? So this needs to be a little bit heavy to hang through this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ball head pins and I'm going to start out with this small little bead right here. I'm going to make a wrapped loop. So I'm going to go 90 degrees. Take this and come up and over. Rotate this up. Come around. So I've got a little loop there. Then I'm going to grab my loop. And you can actually do it with your fingers, these little ball head pins. If yours are as thin as mine, they're so tiny and so thin. And I'm just going to wrap around several times, using pretty much as much of the head pin as I can. And then I'm just going to trim any part that's just sticking out there at the edge. So there that is. Now I'm going to hang this one right on the end with a jump ring, one of these tiny ones. We may not even end up using the jump rings that they sent in this box, but so I'm just hanging this tiny one on. Gonna close it right up, just like that. Make sure your jump rings are closed. Okay. Now I'm going to put one of these guys on, again with the ball head pin. Make sure that your ball won't go through that bead, because I'm going to grab a big, I have a couple different sizes here of the ball head pins. This one, the ball is a little bit bigger. I'm going to stick with that one because I'm afraid it was going to go through there. Okay, same thing, bend 90 degrees. Grab it, come up and over, rotate up, come under. Here we have our loop. And we're going to wrap. And again, you can wrap it as many times as you want. I kind of am coming down onto the bead a little with it. It almost makes like a little bead cap sort of situation. And I'm just trying to kind of wrap it, the whole head pin if I can. Sometimes it's hard to do and you have to trim off a little, but pretty much got it. There we go. And then this one again, I'm going to hook on with my, I may hook this one on with the bigger jump ring just because it's a bigger bead. And I don't want it to hang up against the chain too much. Let's see if I can hook it on this way so that this will, I know this chain's going to turn and stuff, but maybe it would, I mean not turn as in tarnish, but flip and flop turn. So I want to maybe, this jump ring may be a little hard to, no, there it goes. I was going to say, it may be a little hard to get through that chain. It's tiny chain. Okay, so there's our second bead. Now I'm going to go with this one right here. Same thing. Just making wrapped loops. Up and over. Rotate this up. Come under. And we're just going to wrap. Okay. I'll trim that one a little bit because it was really long. Okay. And I am going to use the smaller jump ring for this one. And I'm just going to hang it right about here. Close this up. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go over here with this one, and I'm trying to hang them on either side of the chain. This chain's tiny, but I'm trying to hang like, I don't know if I did it on that one. Yeah, I think I did. So I'm trying to lay the chain out kind of flat and hang it this way and then this one this way. And it may, I mean, I know it's all just going to kind of flop around, but still, I feel like that they may kind of hang on either side if I do it this way, which is what I really want, but we'll have to see how it lays. I don't know. It may not do it, but hopefully it will. This chain's teeny. When you have bigger chain, you know, it will lay on whatever side you put it on, but with this teeny tiny chain, it's probably not going to really make that much difference, but I'm doing it anyway, just in case. Okay. There we go. And again, going to hook him on with my bigger jump ring. And this guy, I'm going to try to hang right about here, maybe. Okay. I'm going to take this little one and put it over here. And I'm not going for like a really full looking thing down here or anything, like a full tassel or anything. I'm just trying to decorate it up with some of the beads. Just, you know, not very many. I'm not going to do a whole big bunch, but maybe just a couple more. Okay. And I'm going to use the smaller jump ring for him because he's tiny. And I think I'm just going to try to get him right in here. It is a bit fiddly, but just trying to get him through. There we go. All right, so there's those. I'm going to do one more right here. Okay, it looks like I quit recording. I have no idea where I quit recording. I didn't even realize it had, and I don't know why it did. But anyway, so what I did is I took a jump ring and I hooked my focal to this side of the chain, and I'm not sure if it showed that or if it cut off. And the reason I did that is because sometimes these will slide up and down, or this will flip a lot, and this will keep it from doing that. And it will, you know, I've lost some Lariat style necklaces because this came out and I didn't even notice it. So I know a lot of people like the movement, like being able to move it up and down, and that's fine if you want to do that. But for me, I want to hook it right here to the chain with a little jump ring, and that'll just keep this secure, and I don't have to worry about losing it. Okay, so I'm going to put this on a form, and I will be right back to let you see it. Okay, so here we are in my light box, and this is what it looks like. And I like it. I think it turned out pretty cute. So there's our little dangle down from our focal. And like I said, I redid the focal by putting glass glitter and UV resin. Yes, I did. And there it goes all the way up the side. So yeah, I really like this one. It's different and not something that I usually do, but I think it turned out pretty good. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did and you want to subscribe to Bargain Bead Box, I will have a link in the description box below the video. And again, Wendy2 coupon code will get you $2 off of your first month's box. Or if you don't want to subscribe, you just want to shop in their store, you can do that. Beadboxbargains.com and $2 off of your first purchase in their store. So thanks guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.